Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriente. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show. Make Comrade Show with Comrade Lante Oriente. Live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.
Yes. Over to you, Dr. Tony Agbons.
Thank you all so much, our people. Very happy first Sunday of the month of September to every one of you, wherever you are in the world watching us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. We are happy to be back again live on the Comrade Show. This segment we popularly refer to as the Comrade and Friends. So I have here in the studio with me the Musketeers. Before I introduce, I want to quickly introduce myself. I've been given special privileges to anchor today's show. I am Dr. Tony Agbons Uwaifo. I'll be your anchor today. So I want to quickly introduce my other Musketeers who are on the show today. But before then, please, I want you to share the show, share this program on Facebook and on YouTube. Share it, so that other people can join in. So I want to quickly introduce our special comrade, the man who has nicknamed this show the Sunday Tonic. I'm talking of the number one Edo man. That is what he calls himself now. Pharmacist Austin. Please talk to our people.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. To our viewers, it's always a pleasure to be here. Just before I introduce myself, I want to join my brother, Dr. Tony Agbons, to tender an unreserved apology for us starting a bit late. It's been due to a few technical issues here and there, but thank God we are here. My people, we don't come again with our Ogbenge show, the Comrade and Friends, our Sunday Tonic. Apologies, last Sunday I wasn't here. Myself and Tony, we were celebrating Edo State, but our very courageous comrades stood in for us. God bless all of you. Please, you remember the deal. Listen and share. God bless you now. Well.
Thank you, my brother, pharmacist, Comrade Austin Iremira, for that your Ogbonge greeting. We not get arrival. We are good to have you here, sir.
Thank you.
So now I want to also bring to our viewers our comrade commander-in-chief, the man with the talk as he be, our brother Lante. Over to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Dr. Tony Agbons. Thank you very much. Viewers at the Facebook, YouTube. Today's a bumper package by the grace of God, because we are just a few days away from the historic elections that took place in Edo State in 2020. And we want to use this program to look at the road so far. Governance in Edo State, how has it been like? So we are not going to be speaking much. I'm sure Tony is going to let you know that we are going to want a lot of calls to come in. We want to feel the pulse of the people. Edo people need to speak to us. So I want to welcome you. I want to thank you for joining us. Please share, and just share. Thank you.
Thank you, Comrade Lante Ikpomosa, for that introduction. So our people will welcome you. So without much ado, we are going to hit the ground running. Like Comrade just mentioned, it took the sail out of my ship there. It is nearly 1 year that the historic and momentous election the Edo State governorship election happened, and we are all living witnesses. The election was on the 20th of September 2020. And by the grace of God, the new administration, the second tenure of His Excellency Governor Godwin Noerase Obaseki, was inaugurated on the 12th of November 2020. So it is getting to close to 1 year. So the question on the lips of Edo State people, both in Benin City and across the world, all over the world, is how are we faring? What is happening at the moment in Edo State? So, like Comrade Lamte have said, we are throwing our phone lines open because we are in a democracy, and we on this show believe that the original definition of democracy has to play out. It is a government of the people, by the people, and for the people. So that's why we are throwing our lines open as we remember that election that took place in September 2020. So we feel like, let you, the people, have your say. But before the line starts to ring, I want to bring my brother, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira. What is your take on this issue that we are looking at today?
Thank you so much, my brother, Dr. Tony Agbons. I think the issue we are about to discuss today is very important. And with your intro, you've set the ball rolling already. I remember with nostalgia, with happiness, with pomp and pageantry, how the governorship race started all before last year, with all the political razzmatazz, with all the difficulties that the incumbent governor then had to go through, eventually leaving APC and moving to PDP, securing the ticket for PDP, and the eventual election in September 2020. It was indeed a watershed, and Edo people moved in their drove to support our governor and to give him the second tenure. Well, it's almost 1 year now. There are so many issues to be discussed. I have my opinions on some of these things, but I want to leave it open to our viewers to begin to, so that let them ring in to let us know. The issues of not having cabinet is very paramount in the mouth of many Edolites, and development and governance generally, where we are. I think listening to people out there, many people are concerned. Rightly so, I think they are. And I also want to think that even the governor himself would also be concerned, realizing the fierce battle he went through to get here. One would expect that he would have been running in full throttle, but we know what it is at the moment. So that would be my first take. It was a momentous occasion. We are here now, almost 1 year. It is time for us to look at the books, see where we are going to, and if there's any way we can get to where we want to go to, which is that promised land.
Thank you very much, Comrade Pharmacist Austin Iremira, for that your introductory speech. Very well deposited. And I want to thank one of our viewers and contributor on our Facebook handle. He just brought it to my attention that the election was actually on the 19th of September. Thank you, P. Cole, that's your name. Thank you very much for that. So it shows that we are all following. Please, our phone lines will be thrown open in the next few minutes. We want you to have your say, because I must tell you that this program, we're not just here. This is a program that provides your voice cannot be heard. So don't miss this opportunity. Get our phone lines. It's been posted on the screen. The Comrade Show phone line has been posted. So please call in and let us hear your view. But before then, I just want to hear a little from Comrade Lante Ikponwosa Oriakhi. So what is your initial reaction to today's topic?
I think it's, for me, it's this what democracy should be about. Looking at the issues the way they are. Of course, it's nearly 1 year now, and it's time, for Edo people to start evaluating, the governance, particularly juxtaposing governance against the backdrop of all the promises made. So, and that is the only way, because if people govern and they do not, have that understanding that they are being checked, by the people they govern, then it becomes, some level of immorality in itself. So I think that it is essential we start feeling the pulse of the people. It's essential we start knowing how governance in Edo State, since the last 1 year, is faring, and how, governance is getting close to meeting the needs of the people, particularly talking about, that which has become a very huge axiom in Edo State, that is talking of making Edo great again. A major campaign, axiom of the governor, upon which so many promises were made and all of that. So I think it's essential we start evaluating all of these things. It's been nearly 1 year, even though the governor has been the governor of Edo State for nearly 5 years now, okay, but we want to take stock of the last 1 year since his historic re-election. I think it's a right step in the right direction. I'd like to say too that it's not going to be a one-off thing. At least till on the 19th, till November, it is something we are going to be talking about. There are so many issues that we need to start evaluating, holistically.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation, Comrade Lante Ikponwosa Oriakhi. So, our viewers, the phone lines have been thrown open. We are expecting your calls, but in between, we will also be making our comment. We're going to start off by looking at one of the major issue that is really bothering the minds of the people of Edo State, and that is the issue of security. Security. It may interest you to know that I think just yesterday or so, the younger brother of a very popular political activist in Nigeria, talking of Omoyele Sowore, this younger brother was gunned down in the Okada area in Edo State. And this has been trending since yesterday. And some of us have said, oh, this is the younger brother. May his soul rest in peace. And our condolences to the Sowore family for this huge loss. And this kind of thing has happened to people who may not be very well known and nobody will hear of it. And that brings us to the issue of security and the anti-grazing law that the southern governors have agreed way back, I think in the month of July or so, that all these southern governors agreed, 17 of them, that they are going to transmit the anti-grazing law to their respective houses of assembly to pass into law. But suffice to say that as we speak, Edo State, Lagos State, and Anambra State have not done it. So I think we have a visual report, credit to ITV, that we all can listen to, because we're going to be looking at security as the number one issue on this, our topic today. So if we can get that visual, we'll take it.
The Southern Governors Forum, comprising 17 governors at a meeting in Lagos on July 5th, 2021, urged states in the zone to To ensure the legislation against open grazing of cattle was put in place on or before September the 1st. Following the governor's resolution, most of the states sent the bill to their state houses of assembly as Ondo, Rivers, Ekiti, Bayelsa, Cross River, Ogun, Abia, Oyo, Ebonyi, and Imo State have enacted the anti-open grazing law. The governors of Enugu, Delta, Akwa Ibom, and Osun State have transmitted the anti-open grazing bill to the houses of assembly but yet to be passed into law. Findings revealed that Lagos State, Anambra, and Edo State are yet to forward a bill related to the matter to the State House of Assembly for consideration and passage. Some Benin City residents who expressed disappointment called on the government of Edo State to give priority to safety of its citizens by transmitting the anti-open grazing bill to the House of Assembly. They sell the bill.
Thank you, Comrade, for that visual. And that is the position as at this report coming out, that some states have actually signed the bill into law, anti-grazing law. Some states have transmitted to their State House of Assemblies under consideration. And 3 states, Edo, Lagos, and Anambra, they have not transmitted their bill at all. And we are talking security. Pharmacist Iremira.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. I will not want to sound very down, but I want to say that I'm really very surprised, given the fact that Edo State is a very pivotal state in terms of road network and connection to other places in Nigeria. One can understand Lagos. One may also be able to understand Anambra, but I just cannot give any reason why Edo State will be where we are at the moment. From that report by ITV, there are 3 stratas that we can make since the pronouncement on the 5th of July. That report said that a few states have already passed it into law. Some states have sent a bill to their House of Assemblies. And 3 other states are yet to send a bill to their own state House of Assembly. Surprisingly, my dear Edo State is in that 3rd category. That is not encouraging at all, given the fact that even up to last week, 2 weeks, and 3 weeks before, there were situations of herdsmen harassing, killing, and maiming people around the Benin-Aochi Road, which is part of Edo State. And worse still, 2 days ago or yesterday, we woke up to the bad news that Olajude Sowore was a victim of herdsmen attack around the Okada area. Why I may not have information as per the delay, I am surprised and I am bewildered. Maybe the government may have a reason why they haven't done that, but it's really surprising because when all this started, you realize that our state has been in the negative part of it. Could it be that because we don't have ESCO, that's why things are not moving? Could it be because maybe the National Assembly is suffering a problem of a few legislators not being in place? I don't really know what the reason is. And the death of Showore's brother in Edo State has further brought this issue into fore and for discussion. I am surprised, really, because Edo State is in the heart of the South-South, and herdsmen have been ravaging the South-South with reckless abandon, wasting time to get this bill in place. It's not only surprising, but it's dangerous. I hope the government of Edo State would wake up quickly and let Edo people know the reason why there's a delay, and if possible, do this quickly before things get out of hand, to be frank.
Thank you, Pharmacist Iremira. Comrade Lante Ponsa Oreachi. Anti-grazing law. Some states have signed, some have transmitted the law to their House of Assembly, and some have not transmitted at all. Edo State is in the 3rd category. What is your take, my brother?
Dr. Agbons and Comrade Austin Remira. To be honest, it's disappointing, and this is the truth. We should say the way it is. It is very disappointing. Apart from just the anti-grazing law, so many other things are beginning to connect themselves as far as governance in Edo State is concerned. And Edo people are expressing grave concern. Some of us who are not in government at all, we are feeling the heat, in our own privacy. Because a lot of people who cannot reach government, who see us as, people who probably, have connection with government and all of that. I mean, they reach us. We feel the pulse of the people. We feel the heat. We feel the pain. We are part of it. The issue of Oshowore's brother being killed is one of those things too. It's not because it's just Showore brother. A lot of people have been dying really in the hands of terrorists and insecurity and all of that. And so looking at all of these things in the mix, and the other day we followed up a process of protest. With this issue of what's it called, the land grabbers and every other thing. And the government had, gone ahead to push some laws passed and all of those things. But we are still there. Nobody's hearing anything. And yet, all of those things have continued. Edo State is in some very serious situation that, everybody's bothered. In my private broadcast, a few days ago, I did say, and this is true, and I will repeat it again, that the election of Governor Obaseki was a historic one. The people came together, mightily, whether at home or in the diaspora. People did a lot to get the governor elected. So the hope had been quite high, but the feelers coming in is, and I made it very clear that the governor is losing support, and it's losing support so fast, because the other day a colleague of mine came from Nigeria, and he came from Nigeria and came from Benin. He's very unhappy with the way things are as far as Benin City is concerned and stuff like that, and the story is going around like that. And so somehow that we have not even transmitted any information to the House of Assembly about the anti-grazing law and all of that. It's honestly puzzling, you understand? And the worst part of it is that government is not talking to anybody. What I mean? Edo people need to be informed. Every process of the way, whether it is good, is bad, is whatever it is, people should be informed. I don't even know what the information machinery of government is doing. We are not getting any information. Sometimes people are just left to speculate. The other day, the governor came out, with very stringent rules against, people who have not taken COVID vaccination. The passion with which the government is dealing with COVID vaccination and all of that, we are not seeing equal passion, with insecurity, with so many other things. So it's puzzling, really, to say this, to say the least. And I just want to try to be as modest as possible while we try to, follow this process through. But to be very honest, it's puzzling, it's disappointing, to say the least.
Thank you, comrade. Please, our phone lines are opened. It's +44 743 822 9094. +44 743 822 9094. You can call in. We want to hear you, because a lot of you have been calling us, talking to us privately. We want you to speak, because Edo State, as it is, belongs to us all. Government will come, government will go, but Edo State remains. And like we have always said in this show, our loyalty is to our state. We are all stakeholders in the development of our state. So please pick your phone and call in we want to hear your thoughts on 1 year after Edo State election reaction. We want to hear you. What do you think? What is the way to go? What is your perception of the general things that is happening in Edo State? So, pharmacist Remira, still talking about security. We know that the state government has been working with a lot of vigilante groups, Wabaiziga, the neighborhood and all that. So many names. So, and we will also say that in terms of security, things are not as bad as they used to be. But there has been this concern from our people that Bini Auchi road, and then this Okada axis. What do you think, in your opinion? What do you think the state government should do?
Thank you so much, my brother Tony. Because the government is not really talking to the people, it becomes slightly difficult to even know what you should advise the government on. Because one believe and think that they have all the information. Because if there is something happening, we can then be able to give a suggestion about a thing or two of what should be done. I know the paraphernalia of government already know that Bini Auchi Road is a problem. And even the Okada Bini Road also is also a problem. One would have expected that something substantial or substantive should have been done along that line. We all know the vigilante that was created. Only 2 or 3 weeks ago in this program, we talked about the ASAM people coming to have their security network. Maybe we could also appeal to the Okada people. If possible, maybe they could also have their own security network, or because we don't really know what is happening. But to answer the question strictly, it's just for the government to wake up and see the security areas that have challenges, and let's see what can be done. Probably maybe vigilante in conjunction with the police, and then
I think we have a caller.
Yeah, we take the call.
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Hello, brother.
Call here. We are live. Do you want to talk to us live or what? Go ahead, man. We can hear you. What's your name and where are you calling from? Go ahead.
Okay, brother. I'm calling because I'm watching you people live now. Because I really appreciate you guys' effort. Even during this election, I see how all of you stood for Governor Bateki to become winner. Even me that is talking, but I live here in Munich. I know the sacrifice. I know the people I paid to make sure say they go and vote for him. Even there was a brother that pieces his shirt. They want to steal this ballot box. The guy was just complaining. I know how much I spent for that guy. I still have his name in my account. You know, if a governor come out this time and start doing this, it's very, very unfortunate. At least, Edo State supposed to be a first thing whereby we put first. At least, asking people to take vaccination is very, very wrong. Because God give us life to live. You get? So one person cannot just come before people to take vaccine. And see what is going on. Open crazy bill. It's not yet passed. It's really, really unfortunate, brother. It's really, really unfortunate. If anyone have any means to talk to him, please, brother, you people should do. Please, we really count on you guys. Through you guys, we know Edo State is going to be the best. If he will listen to you people. That's my contribution, brother.
Thank you very much for calling, man. Over to you, Agbons.
Thank you very much. Our sister that called all the way from Munich in Germany. Thank you very much. So, you know, if you look at the tone of that sister, that is the expectation. Like they always say, that to whom much is given, much is expected. So this government has come in on a wave of mass popularity. So there is Edo people are expectant. In fact, we are pregnant. We are pregnant, and we are waiting for deliverables of the dividends of democracy. Yes, pharmacist, if you can fire on. I know you were on the speech before that call came in.
Thank you so much. I just want to re-echo the words of that caller. I think she used the right adjective, unfortunate. It is unfortunate because our expectation is high. And remember, these expectations are not our promises, but the promises of this government. So if you've made promises, it's only fair and wise that we live up to that. And I don't know how this will feel amongst the other 17 southern governors if they are hearing headlines to say that their fellow governor, one from Edo State, has not heeded their call. Remember, the deadline was 1st of September. I hope the government is listening, and I believe that the governor and his team would respond to this clarion call. Edos are not happy. Edos are crying. Edos are bleeding. And like you said, to whom much is given, much is really expected.
Another phone call, we take it.
Okay. Hello. Hello.
Yeah, hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Austin.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, please, I'm just watching your social now, so...
We can't hear you. Could you just call directly? A direct call is drowning you. Let's take that one. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good evening, sir. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, Christopher. I'm calling from Musa. And I just want to chip in something. My dog there, Iremina Austin, is my dog. I don't say hi to him. He's just like a brother to me. I just want to chip in something concerning the open grazing law. You see, that person is just, I think he has a hidden agenda. Which is people in the university don't know about it. I'm thinking that this man wants to go back to where it's coming from. And the power that basically they don't want him to pass the law, the open grazing law. I guess that's the reason why Obaseki is just trying to stay back and doesn't want to listen to the people right now. Because what is going on in this state is a kind of thing that people, as far away they are trying to, to come in and make things right. But the powers that are involved, I guess it's they have more than the people, the good people. And my contribution is, if you guys, and I know Lampy and the other man over there, I know you guys have connection to we are pitching the governor. If you can just repeat and try and talk to him, if you can listen to you guys, I guess that should be there. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. Over to you, Agbons.
Yeah, thank you, our brother who have just called in from the States. His voice was a bit faint. I couldn't pick his name. But I think he's also showing the same sentiment which the previous caller from Germany have shown. Austin, you are the one always saying this thing, the voice of the people. Can you say that thing again in Latin? I always like the Latin version. Voice populi something. Voice
populi, voice Dei.
Yeah, so that is why we are throwing the lines open. We take the next caller. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello, sir. Where are you calling from? What's your name?
My name is Iyaji. I am calling from UK.
Go ahead, sir. Go ahead, sir. We can hear you.
Okay. Basically, what I want to say is the last election. Yeah. The last election, like the woman that spoke before, like she said, we all actually contributed and put effort together to make sure we got our people back home to vote this government into power. And as a result of that, we are expecting so much from this government. And this is because this government really promised that they were going to work. I'll just give a simple example. Like I myself, I just came back from Nigeria not too long. If you send someone to Edo State and say, take a camera and drive down through Ekenwan Road, that project has been ongoing for God knows when. We live in Western World, for example. If the government here want to work in a road, they will say from this date to this date, this project
will be working on these roads, and exactly that project will be completed. Ekema Road, for example, I think our elder Ipa, the last time we had a meeting with the governor, he even suggested to the governor, why not block one way? Let them finish the other way. Then when they finish that way, you can move to the other way. So it's like urban market got burnt. Kyoto, nothing is. We know there are little things, but before you know it, the few years that the government have will be gone. It's disappointing. If there's any way we can really speak to this government, I think they really need to wake up, sir. They really need to wake up and do something that will not make Edo people regret why they stood together to bring this government into power. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your call. Over to you, Agbons.
Thank you, our brother who have just called in from the United Kingdom. Thank you. Please, the phone lines are open. Call directly so that because when you call on WhatsApp, the direct calls will just dwarf your call. So please call directly. We've been posting the numbers on the screen. If you check the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat, it is there. Call directly. Let your voice be heard. In fact, somebody was saying that we should let the authorities in Edo State know. Yes, that is fine. But the purpose of today's program is let your own voice be heard in your own original voice. We are all in this together. Thank you so much. So, pharmacist, just please sum up so that I can go to the Lante. I can go to Comrade Lante. Sorry.
Thank you so much. Just to reenact the Latin words that you want me to say. Voice populi, voice Dei. And we all supported this government. I think, stricto sensus, Tony, I think the governor is taking too much on his shoulders. He needs to spread the joy. I think creation or appointment of commissioners and people to work for you is paramount. Because not everybody can go to the governor, but everybody can reach the local, the commissioners and those appointed. That's why we are not hearing too much. The governor at this time, if care is not taken, will be sick with the plethora of problems. He needs helpers. Definitely.
Thank you. In fact, I was even going to that level of the cabinet. Yes. We'll take the call.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Edo, sir. I'm calling from Canada.
Go ahead, sir.
I just want to put a contribution. So it's this is our country problem, right? Nigeria. It's just so sad. It's sad that every 4 years we vote in new governor, and what they tend to do is they just imagine the problem of the people. Here in the developed world, when the government hold a press briefing or a press conference, they allow the journalists and some of the citizens to ask questions, what's bothered them. But where we are coming from, our country, you just imagine problems for the people. You cannot imagine, a government cannot be everywhere. A governor cannot be in what's called a Lutu at the same time being in Orion. But when something happens and you call for it, when you actually want to address the people, then you are expected to answer these people's question or let them tell you what is the problem. Then you cannot say, okay, I'll set a committee or I'll do whatever to tackle this problem. I'm actually coming in respect of development and whatever. When you go to Edo State, everywhere there is nothing. You can only hear from the government saying we do this, we do that, we do. This thing cannot continue. Cannot just come and every time government come and go, they just keep saying we spent so much billion, we did this, we did that, and the people that you are supposed to, all these things are supposed to reflect on. They don't even know if these things is being done. They don't even know if this, this whole project is being done at all. Rather than they just keep suffering and having so much issues. It's tiring, and it's honestly, like I said, the problem we have in Edo State or in Nigeria in general, we don't have a system. And until a system is put on, honestly, we'll just keep talking back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Thank you very much, Edo, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Esosa. That is our brother Esosa, all the way
We have
from.
another caller, sir.
Yeah,
Hello.
we take the call. Yeah.
Hello. We may have lost the call.
Well, we must have lost. So thank you, Esosa, from North America, all the way in Canada, for that. He's saying that we need a system to get things running and put governance in autopilot. Yes, Austin, you have already mentioned this. Comrade Lante Ponsariaki, could it be that the absence of commissioners and special advisors and senior special advisors has made this job so tedious for the governor or the secretary to the state government or the chief of staff to the governor or the deputy governor? So is that the issue that is playing out now?
I look, I think it's part of the issue, but if we base it on that, it will be like we are scratching the surface. Because for that itself to be sorted, there should be that will for it to be sorted. You know, we've on this program we've tried to reason with the governor, you know, over and over again, you know, even before the government was 6 months old, try to understand that, okay, maybe this government is building the institution like it normally would say, building the structures, try to clear this and clear that and all of that. Okay, 3 months to himself, you know, made promises, you know, oh, I would do it those one so time, I would do this one so time. He didn't, you know, quite do it in any of those times and all of that. So for me, even commissioners, special appointees coming on right now, for me, I don't think they're going to make much difference, because what makes a lot of difference to me personally is what direction is this governor and this government facing. Because at the end of the day, it is the language of the governor that his appointees are going to be speaking. Now, we want to get a clear statement, a clear, you know, this is the direction this government is facing. For instance, the issue of insecurity is not going to be tackled by any commissioner. It's going to be tackled by the will of governance, the will of government, you know, a deliberate and proactive, you know, arrangement. And one of such arrangements is the issue of passing this open grazing law. And when it is passed, empowering all the enabling apparatus of state to ensure that the practical application of that particular law is made palpable, to the extent that Edo people should feel safe and safer from these, you know, terrorist people, or herdsmen, they call them, parading themselves along everywhere. So when you look at it, the issue of, you know, commissioners, of course, is going to help, you know, in their own department, but we just need a very practical and proactive, you know, will from government. And more than that, like somebody just said right now in the comment section, I don't know why we are not hearing. We don't hear anything. What we hear is from back door to back door. But government doesn't come back to tell us this is exactly what is happening on this. There are so many issues lying down. People are tired. People are. My brother, I sit here, you know, I like, man, what is happening? What's sunu? You understand what I'm saying now? Sometimes I'm even ashamed now of myself, to say the least, because we know the zeal with which many of us came out and say, man, this is it. I am not regretting that we elected Governor Obaseki, because if the election was to hold again today, I still think Obaseki is a better option. Okay? But looking at the promises made by this government, okay, the confidence this government gave to us, 1 year is gone. Now, let me tell you why this matter is very worrisome. 2023 is an election year in Nigeria, presidential election. All states in Nigeria are going to be involved. Okay? And if the feelers that we are getting from different quarters is anything to go by, okay, it is equally possible that the governor of Edo State will be a very good consideration by whoever is going to emerge the presidential candidate for vice president, or even for president, as it were. Which means that a lot of the attention, you know, is going to be beamed on election, you know, of 2023 elections, which is going to happen early 2023. 24 is going to be election for Edo State government house, which means that this government has the next 1 year to prove to Edo State that everything promised to achieve the mega agenda will be achieved between now and the next 1 year. It's I mean, a year if you look at it. You understand?
Yes. Time is of essence. If I'm going to summarize what Comrade Lante Oriaki have just said, knowing our antecedent in Nigeria, even in Nigeria, they're already talking of 2024 anyway. So at the federal level, and with all the permutations we are getting, Edo State Governor Obaseki is going to be a major player in that 2023 election. He may be. So, in other words, like Lante have just said, the government has just 1 year, left. And like we have established at the beginning of today's program, our expectation of Edo people are very high, considering where we are coming from. So we've talked on the cabinet issue, and I want to go to another major issue that have been really causing. In fact, I belong to a WhatsApp group, and this matter, even some people were almost like throwing stones at each other in writing anyway. COVID vaccine. What is your take on the approach of this COVID? Because we as a program, we cannot just pretend and say, oh, make we just forget. We have to talk about it. So the COVID vaccine issue, Edo State and COVID vaccination. Pharmacists, I think you are, if there's any person that should talk about this, is you, who is into pharmacognosis and pharmacological and all that. Austin, the ball is in your court.
Thank you so much, my brother Tony Bones. On the issue of vaccine, I am a supporter of vaccination. I am a pharmacist, and this is what I do every day of my life. I'm among the first people that took the double vaccine. I completed my second vaccine as far back as March of this year. So I am a serious supporter of it. The disease we all know is ravaging, is deadly. Our brother Comrade Lante has made so many podcasts on this, and there is hardly nobody that doesn't know somebody that knows somebody who has been affected in one way or the other. The only difference in the way it is in Edo State is that even in the Western world, where these vaccines are there, they are given free, and even where the level of death from this vaccine is high, like in the UK and other Western world, there is still that approach that the government is using to make.
Can we take a call, please?
Let's take the call. Thank you, pharmacist. We take the
Hello.
call.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Please, where are you calling from?
Yeah.
What's your name, sir?
Yes, I know you are live now.
Okay, go ahead, sir.
All right. Good evening, everyone in the house. I want to really appreciate your wonderful work and the information you are giving to the Edo people. As you all know, my name is Sirime Apostle Alfred Odion Uyinosa, the man when they talk as it be. As we speak today, the people are not hearing anything from the government. We are not hearing anything. It's like we are totally left in the dark. And a lot of us that genuinely come out to fight for the governor, our life is already in danger. People are asking a question. We don't even have answer to the question they've been asking. Now, let us come back to the issue of vaccine. According to the Nigeria number, that 2,000 or something number have died. But can they actually tell us the people that have died of malaria, the people that have died from the hands of the Boko Haram and the terrorism going on in Nigeria? Our people are suffering. There is hunger in the land. Doctors are on strike. Nothing is working. X-Men, they are taking over our farm. People cannot go to farm. So our government of the day should not pretend that they love us. They don't. The people are suffering. You can't buy anything in the market as of today. Now, let's come back to Edo State. We have been crying and shouting about evil union, evil union. Things are expensive. The government, they are not saying anything. They are not doing anything. And the people are tired. So please, please, it is hard time the governor come out, tell the people, this is what is going on. This is the reason why we have not been able to appoint commissioner or inaugurate House of Assembly or even conduct a local government election. A lot of issues are on ground. We shouldn't pretend anymore. We shouldn't pretend. But I am not regretting that I campaigned for him. But as it is today, I am disappointed. And this is the truth. Because what we promised the people, what we told the people, it is opposite we are seeing today. And it is that time we begin to say it the way it is. This is my humble submission. Thank you, everyone in the house.
Thank you very much. Our big uncle, Apostle Alfred Musa. I think he called in all the way from Benin City, Edo State in Nigeria. Thank you so much. That was a very some salient point the apostle has deposited there, and I think he has gone back to talk about the security issue with regards to herdsmen, our people not being able to go to farm, and then we go back again to the anti-grazing law. So it takes us back there. So pharmacists, you were on the COVID vaccination. Go on, fire on, sir.
Thank you so much, my brother Tony, but I will not allow this moment go without saying thank you to the gentleman that just spoke. I haven't met him, but I have met his good words on the social media and the social platform. He has said it as it is. Governor Obaseki should know all of us mean well, and that voice says it all. Thank you so much, Apostle Yunus Augato. Then going back to the COVID vaccine, so that I don't have too much razzmatazz. I think the approach that the government made was not really the best way. I think the only action that should have been taken, the government came across as being very forceful. And in things like this, you need to be a bit persuasive. You need to create evidences to encourage people to take it. The government might mean well, because we don't want people to die anymore, but I think the government would have approached it differently. Even in the Western world, even though it's stylishly being made compulsory, but it's not, they are approaching it a bit different. And I think the tone of the government would have been a bit more of persuasion instead of coming the way it came across to so many people. And like Apostle said, there isn't so much information on ground. So if there are no information, people will not just want to do it. So on that note, I don't know, the government may still want to change it, but the approach would have been more of persuasion. And to appeal to our viewers, COVID is real. The disease is there. The vaccines are not fake. The vaccines are the answers. So please, let's not get twisted. All religious people who are causing lots of problems and giving negative information about it are also not helping matters. The disease is real. At the moment, it's only vaccine that can not stopping it, but that can give us some degree of protection. So I want to appeal to Edolites. I know the government must have come a bit hard, but if you have the opportunity, try as much as possible to take the vaccine and follow other protocols to help protect yourself. And Tony, let me also say, people that are angry in Edo State because of the vaccine are not really angry totally because of the issue of the vaccine. It's just because the governor seems to be absent and he has not delivered. The truth has to be said. And so people are angry and they want to take every opportunity to vent their anger.
Thank you very much, pharmacist Iremiran. You were just the right man to take this issue headlong. Because of your professional calling and disposition. Comrade Lante Kponsaoriache, COVID vaccination. The pharmacists have said that the tone should have been more of persuasion rather than coercion. Where do you post this in your own angle?
To be quite honest with you, Dr. Agbons, I agree holistically with pharmacist Ramira. I made that point very clear myself. A day after the Governor Basagi made that pronouncement, I made it. In fact, I was on vacation. When I listened to his pronouncement, the policy pronouncement on the issue, of course, I made a broadcast to say, no, this is not the right way to go. For those who are advising the government to travel this lane, they are pitching him against the people. Of course, you remember that there's a Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hello. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm calling from Netherlands. My name is John.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah. Actually, I want to really contribute on this issue, but here on my phone, I'm not seeing anything indicated that the topic of the show, so that I can be able to know what I'm going to contribute on.
I don't understand you, sir. Are you listening to the program?
I really want to know what you guys are talking about concerning those State issues.
Okay, sir. Please just go to your Facebook or YouTube, go to the Comrade Show and watch us live. Then you can call by the time you follow the line of discussion. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, because
I think he hasn't followed the discussion, and a lot of people are trying to call. We give them opportunity. Comrade, you were on your speech.
Yes. So, like I was saying,
the vaccination.
I quite appreciate the enthusiasm of the governor to get Edo people vaccinated. Like Austin said, COVID is real. Unfortunately, again, we are going about it not just from the government angle now. So many other ways that are not very encouraging. To be honest, if the government brings out a sledgehammer to ban religion in Edo State for 1 month or 2 months, I think I will even applaud that. Because the religious institutions in Edo State, they are a major problem to advancement in Edo State. You understand what I'm saying now? Even while we talk about this COVID matter right now, talk about the reality of COVID, you still have people in churches or mosques or whatever telling their congregation not to take the vaccine and all of that. Now, I don't think people should be coerced into taking vaccine, but I think people should be convinced into it. And there are so many things to make people convinced. Data is important. How much data do we have? That is a state where high-profile people are dying in the state of COVID. Their families are not even allowing, the true information to come out. You understand what I'm saying now? High-profile people are dying in the state, and they are dying of COVID. And these are things that should be announced. This person like COVID-19 killer. At least one person go knows. If COVID will reach this kind of big man body, now they say reach poor man body. These are things that should be information that should be allowed to come out. Every day you get statistics in the UK here. 100 people have died. This died. Oh, so and so person in society, notable person, has died of COVID. Everybody gets to hear. So we need to be transparent in all ways with all of these things. So, but as for the government policy to say people cannot go to their worship centers, they can't go to if they are civil servants, they will not be allowed to go into their offices. I think that is a huge infringement on the rights of citizens. I made a broadcast to say this is not the right approach, and I equally say that this is a policy that may embarrass the government. Not more than 2 weeks after that broadcast, we saw a court ruling that is asking government to stay action pending the termination of the case brought against government because of the issue of COVID vaccination. So when you look at all of these things, I think that the government of Edo State should increase the level of awareness on this matter, increase, persuade people the more. Let us do everything to make people understand that the vaccination, is one way, even though it is not 100% proof, but it's one way that we can increase our defenses against, the ravaging, COVID pandemic, as it were. So I think that would be a good approach to it. However, just on the last line, I want to tell you, Agbons, again, probably the government is just play into the language we black people understand, but right Nigerians. Since government made that pronouncement, there's been increase in the number of people who are coming out to take the vaccine. Must the government be draconian for us to just use our sense to understand, say, this is the right thing for us to do? But having said that, I still think that the government needs to persuade more and convince people more than force them to do it.
Thank you, my brother, Comrade Lante Oriahi. I like the way you summed it up. The government may have, just play the devil's advocate, play the game. And like you said, the number of people going for the vaccine, knowing that they may not, but that was the word the governor used, they may not be able to go to bank, go to parties and Owambe and equanimity and all the rest. So, but I think for me, my personal opinion, right from day one has been that persuasion is the way to go. We were very young those days, and we heard of the mass mobilization for social justice, MAMSA, and DFRI. What those agencies, what they did that time was persuasion. War against indiscipline, why? It was persuasion. And a little bit of, like I said in one of our broadcasts, it is the use of the carrot and the stick. I am where Obonaya Fiomoemi have a yasi kegbe. And at the hand where you take a slap small picking for back, now you take draw near body. Although you cannot try that anymore. Those are things that people used to do in the days gone by. So we want to call on the state government. The intentions are good. You can see the intention, because one of the basic responsibility of government, in fact, the foremost responsibility is the protection of life and property. And health is one of the ways that you protect the people. A call is coming in. We take the call.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, sir.
This is Anthony Ajibola Omoroye.
Go ahead, sir.
I'm calling from Germany. Yeah, I want to make my contribution regarding the approach of the Edo State government towards the vaccination. My own personal view is that the people are not happy with the language because the way it sounds, like Austin analyzed already, it was a bit forceful, and that people are seeing this from perception that the COVID is not as severe an issue as the way the problem of the herdsmen, the kidnapping that is ravaging the society. I think if the government is forceful in the issue of insecurity and then use the same language for vaccine, I think it wouldn't be a big problem for people to accept it. But people are saying that, okay, the issue of vaccine is coming, and then there is that kind of force. But when they talk about other problems that is really more visible to the people in the society, the government seems to be a bit diplomatic, quiet in most cases, and then the vaccine or the COVID, which people still have a lot of doubt due to the controversy surrounding it, they are seeing this kind of force, and not just saying it with force. There is a kind of timeline, a very clear timeline, and this is the kind of thing people are expecting in other areas. I think Alfred Ujinosa also made mention of the market women, and there is no statement to that. And even when the statement comes, there is no timeline. There is the problem of land grabbing. It's a bit silent in this issue. And when they discuss it, there is also no timeline. But when it comes to this issue of this COVID, it was very specific. And this is what I see to be the problem, why the acceptance is not there. So my view is that if the government is going to do this kind of approach, it has to be applied to other areas, especially things that are really affecting the people, what the people feel every day. This is my contribution.
Thank you, our brother, Antonia Jibola Morui. I think he's coming. Is he calling from Germany? What's the location?
Yes, from Germany.
Yeah, from Germany. Yeah, I got that right. Yeah. So thank you, our brother. Very, very, very well said. I just want to say this because a lot of I want to thank all our viewers and followers of the Comrade Show who have been making contribution on YouTube. I've just put our number on the YouTube handle. Somebody said they cannot see it there. So please make your phone call. This is your opportunity to speak. Don't hold back. And for those who are making contribution, thank you so much. We are following all your contribution and everything is being noted over here. Thank you so much. The last caller, pharmacist, I'm coming to you now. The last caller just hinted on timeline. He said the way the government is putting timeline on vaccination by the middle of September, if you have not taken your COVID vaccine, you cannot go, you may not be able to go to bank. But in his phone call, he said people are not feeling the same timeline with herdsmen and kidnappers issue. So we take this call.
Hello.
Hello. Good day, Mr. Comrade.
God bless you, sir. Where are you calling from? What's your name, sir?
Sorry, I called before, but my name was got wrong, though. My name is Edosa, not Esosa. And I just want to add to what you have said, because the truth is, we Nigerians, we don't believe these issues. You see, our country, it's a kind of, I wouldn't like to use the word, it's a hard country that, policies has to be, pushed, with forces and stuff like that. It's sad that it's like that. But I just believe it's because of, how the country is and, the level of information that is being open to the people. Like you said on the vaccination issues, when you say the government approach might just be because, the way people take things, if it doesn't push it that way, people won't go for it. I totally support. In fact, when you did your broadcast when you was in vacation, that was the first thing I said. When you were talking, I said I think the governor is just trying to maybe just see how it's going. Let's take as an example of the issue of registration of this what's it called, national identification number. You see how the government is pushing for, even in the center of the pandemic, people is still crowding, going places to try and do, because they know it's going to restrict, stop them from getting whatever they need to get. I think that was what the government was trying to do, but like the pharmacist said, we can't continue suffering our people, even though we know they are not getting informed, they are not being told what's going on. They can't keep pushing them like animals. They can't keep bringing policies that will get them stranded. That's because even as we speak, how do we even know how many doses they have in Edo State? Some people don't even know the centers to even go and take these vaccines. Some people, as I speak to you, some remote villages, they don't even know what is called COVID-19. So, the people that doesn't know all these things, how are they going to come out and take vaccines, what they don't know? Even some people, as we speak right now, we tell them COVID-19, they tell you, so this whole thing, like I said before on my last comment, it is information. Absolutely. I don't know what EBS is doing there. They should put a jingle in there. They should put advert in our local dialect to give our people awareness. Like you rightly said, when you say people are dying of these things, my brother, how many tests do they run in a day? They only run tests for those people who have money. How many tests do they carry out? Like in Canada, precisely in Calgary, they just put a new restriction again. Even when they said you can wear mask in a public place, you can stop wearing mask in a public place. Now again, I think about 2 days ago, they came up again and said you have to start wearing mask.
Absolutely.
And they said 70% of the people have taken vaccines, double dose, but the people who hasn't taken, they will give them $100 to come take a vaccine. And the press was attacking the premier, and the premier said The people that have came out to take that vaccine, they've done the right thing. But they need to look for another way to drive these people who hasn't taken vaccine to come up and take the vaccine, because if this thing, skyrockets, the money they're going to spend is going to be more than what they are giving these people right now.
Okay.
Thank you, our brother Sosa, all the way from Canada. Thank you so much. I actually got your name right first time. I think it was Comrade that said Dosa, but my sheet here I got your name. Sosa from Canada.
His name is Edosa. It's not a Sosa.
It's not a Sosa.
No, it's Edosa.
Okay. So we thank our brother for calling back again and for even dropping more contribution. So these are the kind of things we're talking about. People participating. We are not just sitting on the fence and say, oh, you know, consign me. These are the kind of things. So we still want to encourage our people as we wind down this program to call in, because this is an opportunity for us to speak back, to hold government accountable. This is what democracy is about. This is what governance is about. And I must say this, political leaders, they cannot get it right 100% all the time. So we have to, call them to attention. Yeah, because they are not perfect. They are human beings. If we are also in those positions, we will do the same thing. They are human beings. So we call them to order. So they may have their own intention, but forgotten the other bit now. So it is at the end of a team sometimes that you will not say, oh, maybe I should not have done it this way. I should have done it that way.
And so hindsight.
Hindsight is always a rich man. And that's why they say that when you are doing something, sometimes you have to take a step back. And I want to expect, and I've said this in some discussion with some people who are very highly placed. I said, even the governor can still make another pronouncement on this matter and make some adjustments. Yeah, we are human beings. If you look at the governor, I think he's passionate, he's compassionate enough. He really wants people to take this vaccine, but it is the approach and the manner of the pronouncement. And like we have established on this program today, people are already even angry about certain things about the governance style and what is happening. So here now Samuruk by Petro. So here now we are moving. So that is it. That is what I think. A caller is on the line. We take it.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. Please, can you tell us your name and where you're calling from?
My brothers, good afternoon, everyone.
Come on, where are you calling from?
Good afternoon, mister. Yeah, I'm calling from UK. My name is Rosemary, sir. I just want to contribute towards the vaccine. And I think the government, in a way, is right for people to come out and take the vaccine. But it's just the way he put it. And what I'm looking at, there's no plan in place. How many people are you diagnosing positive every day? Like here in UK, you see in the television how many people they diagnose every day. People that I work in the health sector. You understand? There are kind of, okay, this is how centers where you can go for free tests and announce it that this is the positive that we have every day. You can't just come out and say people should go to take vaccine when they don't even know how many people are positive. They don't even know that this thing is killing. They don't even have awareness of it. You understand? It's just like if you go to my village and you go to tell them something about COVID-19, you know what they will answer you? You only answer, government, why are they going? You understand? Because these people were never tested. You understand? They were never tested. Even LFT flow testing, why not put a center in Benin and let these people come, give them awareness, how the results go, where it's an instant. Come out and do tests. Let them see with their eyes and see that this thing is going rampant. So they cannot just come out and take vaccine when they don't even have awareness of the COVID. We have NTA, we have NBS, we have radio. Here, don't time at here, different language in Azere. Don't you time at where game no here, game no vaccine back. You understand, my brother? I think the first thing, the fundamental thing is for them to have awareness of COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Our sister, I think Roseline, that phone from the UK. I think everybody is just saying the same thing. Awareness, communication, enlightenment, public enlightenment. And I think the state government did put out the centers where people can be vaccinated. Yeah. Another call is coming in. If we can take it. Comrade.
Hello.
Hello, Comrade Lamptey.
Good morning, sir. What's your name, sir? Where are you calling from?
Oh, my name is my name is Mr. Odion Aloba. So I'm calling from New York.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes, I'm actually calling just to make a couple of points. It's a comment in a way. The reason why I'm calling and talking about this Fulani crisis that is ravaging every nook and crannies of Edo State is I look at it like this. In the course of the certain things that is very fundamentals need to kind of like be captured by our people in the diaspora and even our people on the ground, because we are quick to forget certain things. One, during the Obaseki campaign for the second term, we all know, everybody gathered together, we all campaign assiduously to make sure that he comes into life. So it really does happen. Then, when these things was going on, there was issue of this, what they call issue of Dangote, liaising with Obaseki to a kind of like head part, in financing and all that stuff. And now, Obaseki, as we know, these are people, some of the political gladiators that Obaseki is owing. And now another thing they get to, and it's a Fulani descendant. And now another thing they get to is Bobizua. Bobizua is the chairman for South Mietiala of Nigeria. When Bobizua was coronated or was Talibanized in Abuja the last time, we all saw it. So when we talk about the issue of this, these people, they hide behind a closed door. And our people are being killed by the Fulanis on daily basis. I think this your show, you should try one day to kind of like call these people out so that they can be, they can be heard, so that they can tell our people their own political, testicular fortitude as to what they have for our people, because our people are dying in the dailies. So Obaseki, as per Obaseki leadership, I saw Obaseki leadership at this time, even prior to the heated campaign that was going on. I pre-launched Obaseki 2023 presidential election, that Obaseki was that man, a divine Solomonic human being that will lead Edo even to the federal level. But now what I'm seeing now, Obaseki has turned out to be a chameleon, a chameleonocratic individual in Edo State, or what I call a political Ahithophel in Edo State. So we have to try as much as possible to hold his testicle to fire, because what he's doing is really not understanding. It's so convoluted. His politics now is very convoluted. It's not that the Obaseki that we know then. He's actually playing to that politics that we were calling what they call Oshomolek then. He's becoming a political Nebuchadnezzar in Edo State. Thank you very much.
This our brother, your grandma, no be easy. I just they take cover. I know I'm not trying to bring down what he has said. I think he's made his point. He has used some grandiose grammatical expression there. But I think the point he's also making is, the political power play and, leadership, astuteness and assertiveness. I think that's, I'm just trying to summarize what our brother Odion Aloba from the United States in New York has just said. So our people, call in. You don't have to be calling us privately. You have the space. The public domain is here. Thank you. Another call coming in.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir. What is your name and where are you calling from?
This is Bakari Henry calling from Italy.
Go ahead, sir.
Yes. Thank you very much, Comrade, and my good brothers here. Okay, and Agbons.
Thank you, sir.
See, the problem that recently, when I spoke with a lot of colleagues at home, brothers and sisters, the problem I don't say is having more than is that of really of Fulani herdsmen. You know, the villages now where food comes out from to the major town, nobody can go to farm again. And everybody start complaining of Obaseki. That is the major area where Obaseki is having a lot of problems. And that is exactly where people are complaining about. People are not just interested in any other thing about the music. But if we can handle that of helpful and herdsmen, even recently, yesterday, when I called home, they were asking me, why didn't Obaseki take the same step as other Southside government took? After reaching an agreement that they have September 2nd as the last day for the Fulani herdsmen to be in their forest. Why didn't Obaseki do the same thing as others? So, you see, it's like everything about Obaseki is just going down. And it's not the, and they have complained that it's not the Obaseki is not so he was, or he is now. So, that is so I think with through this media, I think Obaseki should be able to know that what people are interested in is more of security. Then others will follow. Because by the time you cannot give people security, you cannot be able to persuade people to go and take vaccine. That is one thing. Thank you very much. I think I really appreciate your effort in this program. God bless you and all of you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Our big uncle, Henry Bakare, all the way from Italy. I think if I'm to summarize what Uncle Bakare have said, his message to the state government is that seek ye first the kingdom of security, and every other thing shall be added. We have to, especially these herdsmen, a lot of our people, we are all from Edo State, 3 or 4 sitting here. A lot of our people, they can't go to farm because these Fulani herdsmen, they are grazing their cow all through the farmland, and when you challenge them, the next thing they just kill. So that is the problem. So the Edo State government, the message is loud and clear from all the phone calls we've had today on this program that yes, you are doing a lot in the area of security. They want that same intensity on this COVID vaccination to also be applied to the security, especially transmission of that anti-grazing law that the Southern governors have agreed to. We want to leave that Trinity Club of Lagos and Anambra. We don't want to be part of it because we are even more agrarian than Lagos. We are even more agrarian than Anambra because a lot of our people in Edo State, we are not like people in Lagos. A lot of them, they go to work in companies and all that. Lagos is more industrialized than us. So we shouldn't be in that club. So we want to appeal to the state government to, as a matter of urgency and as a matter of public attention, transmit the bill to the State House of Assembly for consideration. So that I know the legislators have been on recess, but things need to be done when they need to be done. I think that is the point that our callers are making. So we're going to sum up this. Pharmacists, we've looked at several issues. Edo State, 1 year after the election. I want you to summarize so that we go to the final issue and we round up for today. What do you have to say by way of finalizing this matter we have been discussing?
Thank you so much. I'm going to be slightly comical just to put a bit of happiness, laughter, and joy into it. Edo State has never been a Division 3 club. We like to be in Division 1. We want to skate through with this anti-grazing law to go straight to Division 1, where we rightly belong. And also to use the slogan of the Edo State governor that led him into office, Edo not be Lagos. We not be there for Lagos now. We not be there with Lagos. We have to leave that Trinity Club. Governor Obaseki, you were elected on the people's mandate. The people are still solidly behind you. Feelers are coming that your popularity is dwindling. Take care of this government and fulfill your mega agenda. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The pharmacist has come again. He has a way of coining all these things. Though not be Division 3 state, we want to be in the premiership, in the big league. So we can't be like Lagos or Anambra. The comrade himself, final word on what we have been discussing and all the callers that have called in. What is your final word on this matter?
I think the governor needs to declare state of emergency on governance in Edo State. This is important because there is no, it's not funny because, you know, any attempt for Obaseki to be termed a failure as a governor, it's a huge indictment on everybody who stakes everything to ensure that he was re-elected. It's a huge indictment on the trust and confidence that people, you know, are supposed to have in persons aspiring for office. Because if Obaseki is termed a failure as a governor, it therefore means that the issue of politics in Edo State will be packed aside, particularly having motivated so many Edo people in the diaspora. So I think Obaseki, as an individual, needs to declare a state of emergency on Edo State government and deliver on the promises made to the people of Edo State. It's no longer funny, my brother. We threw everything into the ring. And several thousands of Edo people did say, because for once we thought that, yes, this is somebody that we can rely on to change the narrative and drive Edo safer. 1 year down the line, everywhere you turn is complaint. Some of us who are not in government, we are receiving the heat every day. Messages, comments, insults, this, that. I would have expected a year ago that by now we'll be smiling, happy that yes, we did the right thing. But we are not, to be honest. We are not. And since the last 3 months, I have been pretending to like, okay, maybe this thing is, look, it's time we begin to call a spade a spade. And that is why this program will not be a one-off this thing. My support for governor of Edo State was not because of Obaseki, was because of Edo State, our love for the state. We want Edo State to change. And the man we thought would bring that change to Edo State as much as possible. We're not saying this should become a heaven, but there are so many things out there in Edo State that may not even require too much. Edo is very dirty. It's very dirty. People here in the Zeboya where cleanliness is next to godliness. There is no attention being on that area at all. We have projects coming from since first term. Somebody mentioned the Kenwa Road just now and all of that. Okay, they are still there. No timeline per se. I campaigned vigorously with Osioma Power Plant. I campaigned vigorously with a modular refinery. And yet we're not getting any from you. This is the state of these things and all of that. I hope that these things will start changing after this broadcast. I hope so.
It will.
We are going to be quiet. I can assure.
Thank you very much, comrade. That was very, very apt and spot on. You have hit the nail on the head. The way you and Austin have said it, it cannot be said in a better way. All the people that have called in, our sister from Munich in Germany, our brother in US, our brother and another brother in UK, Sosa from Canada, Edosa from Canada, Apostle Alfred Ujunosa from Benin City, Edo State, our brother John from the Netherlands, our brother Amori from Germany, our sister Rosalind from UK, our brother Odion Aloba from New York in the US. Everyone that have called, people that have dropped chats, everybody, we are all saying the same thing. And as Austin will say, Vos Populi, Vos, I always miss it. Yeah, Austin, please ring that thing again. I like
Voice Populi, Voice Dei. The voice of the people is the voice of God.
Thank you, my brother. I think you need to take me to some training. I always like it when you say that Latin word. So I think the message is very, very loud and clear. Thank you so much, comrades, for all you have done today. So on a final note, before we end today's program, we want to end it on a very happy note because on this week, precisely on Thursday, the 2nd of September, an Edo son that we are all very proud of, received a huge recognition, a well-deserved one for that matter. He got an award from the UK Prime Minister, Boris Johnson. The award is called the Point of Light Award. This is an award that has given to people in the United Kingdom who have affected positively their community, who have brought succor to people in their community. So I'm talking of no other person than our brother, our big uncle, High Chief Musa Amedu. In fact, the social media was agog on Thursday when the news filtered out, and we have all been celebrating this Edo song. And like I always say, it's not when people die that we start writing sweet words. We start posting their picture all over the place. When good things happen, we should also talk about it. And that is why we on this show, we are celebrating this Edo son, High Chief Musa Amedu. Austin, I will come to you. He's from Edo North like you. So let us make it an ethnic issue now. So you will go first. What do you say, my brother?
Thank you so much, my brother Tony Agbons. You know, I remain the only true Edo State person on this show and virtually in every platform where we find ourselves. High Chief Musa is actually from Esan. He's not from the northern part of Edo State. Oh. But he is also a very complete Edo man. He's a true Benin man, true and true. And he's also from Esan, which is the central part of Edo State. But having said that, just to say today at our meeting in church, we talked about charity. And that charity is very important. Apart from the physical well-being that charity gives you, it's also spiritual. And then what High Chief Musa Amedu did and continue to do during the COVID period by giving succor, food, African food to Black Africans living around the Manchester area and some part of the north is really commendable. So I want to join all Nigerians, especially yourself, because you wrote a very big story about this, eulogizing the good work of Musa Amedu. We must also say that this work is being done by the huge support of the wife of our own friend, Musa Amedu. It is worth commending. It's not every time that we hear bad stories, not the Hush Puppy-like story, but we want to hear the Musa-like story. He's a trailblazer. I want to say kudos to him, the family, and those that work for that project. May God continue to bless him. May God help us to have men that are credible, that will take us from glory to glory. So it is worth commending. And I thank the UK Prime Minister for finding an Edo son worthy, our own friend, to receive this award. More grace to his elbow. Thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother, the pharmacist, Comrade Austin Iremira. I know you will always use your prescription lens to put corrections. Yeah. High Chief Musa Amedu is from Ewu Kingdom. He's from Ewu in Edo State. Thank you, Bakari, our brother Bakari Henry, for putting that on the chat. And he is also the Arala of Ewu. That is why we call him High Chief. So congratulations to him and his, amiable wife, Barrister Mrs. Ehino Amedu. They are actually in this together. Comrade Lante Ikponwosa, my brother, what do you say?
No, honestly, I immediately I saw that particular news. I rang High Chief Musa Amedu. I want to quickly apologize that we are unable to display his photo right now as we speak. But
we saw it. The photo came up.
They did come up.
Yes, it did.
Yeah, it did. Yeah,
okay,
we did.
Because I was trying to.
You can splash it again. You can splash it again if you want to. Yeah.
I think I'll try to do that.
Yeah, I saw it. It came up.
Yeah. High Chief Musa Amedu.
He was wearing a flowing, very flowing Barbariga, the one we used to call Senegal those days. Yeah, it came up. Yeah. So,
okay.
And we are yes.
So this is High Chief Amedu. I want to say that immediately the news came out, I gave him a call you know, I did so proudly because I think that you know what the Prime Minister did by recognizing, you know, High Chief Musa Amedu was not just a recognition for him, was a recognition for Nigeria and indeed, you know, Edo State where he is from and all of that. And I think that it's one such, you know, story that we must be happy about, you know, that Edo people, you know, are exemplary. You know, to be honest, you know, his efforts through the his you know, Edo UK diaspora, you know, organization, you know, during the COVID, post-COVID, you know, lockdown period and all of that, it's remarkable, honestly. And I think he did merit the award, you know, to be very honest. And of course, his wife too, who's equally into all of that. I mean, it's notable, honestly. It's noteworthy in itself. And all I can just say, thank you, bro. Just keep it going, because you're bringing a lot of you know, attention to Edo State, and of course we will support you all the way. That's all I would say to that, sir.
Thank you, comrade. And just to quote the social media handles of High Chief Musa Amedu, when he got this award, he said he's dedicating it to all Edo people all over the world, especially at a time when we are celebrating Edo at 30 plus. So that was from High Chief Musa Amedu. So from the stable of the Comrade Show, on behalf of the Board of Trustees of the Comrade Show, we want to say a huge congratulations to our High Chief, the Arala of Ewu Kingdom, Edo State, Nigeria, Musa Amedu, on this well-deserved recognition. It is not every day that people get award from the UK Prime Minister. Not every day, because here things are very much done properly. These awards are at their hand. It's not just not be the one that they get from behind the behind the scene. Yeah, so this is very well deserved, So we congratulate the so High Chief. We know, so you do your birthday recently. So if celebration good day for this one, make you let us know. We'll fly down to Manchester to celebrate with you. You know, every opportunity we get, we want to celebrate. So, ladies and gentlemen, our distinguished viewers on the Comrade Show, want to thank you all so much.
Just before you go, bros, Dr. Agbon, just before you go, there's this information that we need to break quickly. You remember that the last, the penultimate edition, we did bring somebody to this program who is building some very good infrastructure for
Judo.
Yes. Prior to that time, we equally brought another brother who is building, you know, our own youth league and all that. So I want to quickly announce that you know, these two brothers have been supported, you know, with a sum of 200,000 donated by 3 persons. Dr. Osayi Okungbowa, right, donated 100,000. Mr. Anthony Ajibola Omoruyi donated 50,000, and David Obaze donated 50,000 naira. You know, for these, you know, efforts to support the effort of these brothers from Edo State. So we have you know, 200,000 naira paid by these brothers in the account of the Comrade Show to support this grassroots movement that, you know, further bring development to Edo State. But this orchestrated, you know, championed by ordinary Edo people who just want to see change in Edo State. So I want to use this video to thank these brothers. I think you do know Dr. Osayi yourself.
Yes,
Dr.
yes,
Agbon.
very well. I
want to thank Anthony Ajibola, and of course I want to thank David Obaze for their kind donations. And so that's for that. And I equally want to add, sir, just before you come on and round off, that we are not going to forget, you know, though the Comrade Show did not sit like this last week, but just was it last Saturday or so? Saturday or last Saturday or Friday? I can't remember precisely.
So
we did
Saturday evening.
It was Saturday, yes. We did lose, an icon in Edo State, one who has distinguished himself so much in the music industry. A complete artist, a sculptor, a teacher, a musician of no mean repute, one of the best in Africa. Talking of our old school music. I'm talking of Sir Dr. Victor
Professor.
Uwaifo, and I don't know, Dr. Agbola, let me hand over to you.
I think let's put his appellation very, very solidly. He's Sir Professor Victor Efosa Uwaifo. He's a rare gem. People like that, they come to planet Earth once in a while.
So if you don't mind, by way of of course, remembering him, we may just play a song and all of us enjoy it, even while we are still live in the studio. Let's enjoy with the people. One of those songs of Uwaifo.
Yes.
This is a Kwase.
Thank you.
Go ahead,
that was powerful. Very rhythmic and lyrical from the sage himself. Yes.
Go ahead, I can hear you.
Professor Victor Efosa Uwaifo. He's a true legend. I know the word legend, people use it anyhow these days. But for people like Victor Uwaifo, he is a true legend. Heaven's gain is our loss here on earth. May his music soul rest in perfect peace. Pharmacist.
Thank you so much. You've said a lot about him. I don't want to talk to our viewers about the music of Sir Victor Uwaifo, Professor Sir Victor Uwaifo, because he was a legend. But I want to make 3 comments on how it affects me personally. I think he's a mentor. For our viewers, those that don't know, he went back to school at 52 and eventually became a professor. That has inspired a lot of people. 2, if not for Victor Uwaifo, I would have known the Kenwa Road houses of Benin. Those days when I used to go from Ikoba Hill to Airport Road, we make it a point of duty to cut across Joromi Road to go to his house and look at that helicopter and all that stuff. So thank you for doing that to me, sir. And lastly, he was a true giver, a man charity personified. He grew up in the Catholic ranks and became a knight of the Catholic Church. He has in his credit to have also built single-handedly or donated a huge sum to building one of the Catholic Church in Benin City. So we really have lost a red gem. May his gentle soul rest in peace, and may Benin never know such a loss again. May his soul rest in peace.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so much, pharmacist. Comrade, I don't know if you have any other thing to add as we wind down.
Uwaifo was just that figure that, he will live with the Edo people forever. Only not too long ago on his 80th birthday, he was honored by the Esama of Benin Kingdom, and he did something wonderful even in that gathering. And I'd love to share that with our people.
Go ahead, sir. Oh yes, the heavens themselves blaze for the death of princes. So let it be with Sir Professor Victor Uwaifo, as put out by our brother and our uncle Henry Bakare. Sir Victor Uwaifo, I'm doing a piece on him at the moment, and I'm just writing and writing. I don't know where to stop. He's an enigma.
Yes.
He's infinitesimal. He's quintessential. He's let me just stop because titi biti only ogia. I think the comrade we missed last week's show, myself and the pharmacist, because of another Edo program. We're going to have a program dedicated solely to this gem. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, comrade, for churning out this classic, evergreen classic of Sir Professor Victor Uwaifo, Akpakomiza. And like I was saying, I believe at some point, from this table, we are going to do a full program dedicated to the memory of this great son of Edo State. He was the one that put Edo Bendes at that time and Nigeria when he won that gold disc. And everybody knew, and people study Victor Uwaifo. I am in education, and people, when I say, they ask me, they say, oh, when I mention Edo State, they say, oh, there's a musician. Yeah, these are people, they tell me. People study him. And a lot of PhDs have been done on Victor Uwaifo, even while he was alive. He's a colossus. He's I don't know. You can't really describe Victor Uwaifo in words. Ebo defa unoma. So I'm very sorry I'm speaking so much of Benin language, but you can't just say enough of him. You can't. And I'm happy that we are ending this show today on this note. Yes. So, pharmacists, please greet our people before we close shop.
Thank you so much, Dr. Tony Agbons. I want to thank you so much because you really dealt with today's program. Your anchorage has been absolutely legendary. Uwese Baba. And to our people, thank you so much for being part of the Sunday Tonic. Apologies, we weren't here. I wasn't here last week because I really missed it myself. And for those who have called in today to say a thing or two, we are grateful. All the contributions and messages on our chat today has really been spot on. God bless you, Edo Light. Go about your good business in this coming week, and I wish you a very, very good week. Thanks once again.
Yeah. Comrade Lante, your parting shot.
Thank you very much, Edo people from across the world. I want to say thank you for joining us. Please always share our programs. And of course, if you are not yet following the Comrade Show, just click the button if you want to. It's not by force. And if you don't want to equally subscribe to our YouTube channel, please do. Here, what we discuss is state matters, Edo State and Nigeria, as it affects the people and nothing more, But I really thank you guys for the participation, for the callers, for everybody who's been part of this. Thank you, and God bless you, and have a good week ahead.
Thank you, people. Thank you for watching. You are the reason why we are here. God bless you all, and have a blessed month of September. This is my month of birth. More will come. God bless you all.
Make Comrade Show way. Comrade Lante Oriak, live on Facebook and YouTube. Like us, follow us, and be the first to know. This is the Comrade Show.